Greetings to all. My name is Mdletshe, and today I will do my presentation, which focuses on the adaptability of 10 Japanese plum planted across 3 climatically contrasting regions. So this project runs under a joint collaboration between Prova and Stellenbosch University Department of Horticultural Science and Food Science, under the supervision of Dr. Esme Lo, Ivan Labuskakny, and Dr. Mare. So this is an HA Pro adaptability project, and my study marks the third phase of this project. The trees used for data collection were planted in 2019, and they are currently on their sixth leaf. The type of rootstock used is a Mariana rootstock, and the first harvest was done during 2021-2022 season. For this study, we have chosen 3 environments to represent a wide range of chill, which include Noordgadak in the Kaubokker Folding series, which was identified as a high chill environment. Our second environment is Klipperschlagte, located in Robertson, which was identified as a medium chill environment. Our last environment is Boland Agricultural High School, located in Paarl, which was identified as a low chill environment. The experimental design on each of the environment followed is a randomized complete block design. For this study, we've identified 10 different genotypes of Japanese plum to represent a wide range of flowering time, which include early flowering, mid-flowering, and the late flowering. My study focuses on 3 main objectives. The first one, where we look at the influence of G by E on bud break, fruit sets, and thinning. The second objective, we look at the influence of G by E on spray extinction. And the last objective focuses on fruit quality and consumer sensory analysis. For this study, we followed the 3 main materials, for this study, these are the materials and method that we followed. For the first objective, reproductive bud break data was quantified on spurs or clusters, while the vegetative bud break data was quantified on 1-year-old wood. For spray extinction, was quantified on 2 representative scaffold lateral branches through the counting of bedding unit that are extinct and growing. For our third objective, we did a quality evaluation at harvest, and the other one was done post-shelf life. For our consumer sensory analysis, we used a 9-point Dendronic scale in order to gain the consumer perception of the genotype that they were served. The following slide shows the preliminary results from objective 1. And this slide mainly focuses on the influence of G by E on the bud break overlap. The phenomenal bud break overlap refers to when you're having vegetative bud break and reproductive bud break occurring at the same time. Under ideal condition, you'd have reproductive bud break, then vegetative bud break. But when these events occur at the same time, we say they overlap. So for these particular traits, we measured the time difference between the start of the reproductive bud break and the start of the vegetative bud break. So to investigate the influence of G by E on the overlap, we used the 2 statistical tools, the AMI and the GGE. What you see on the slide is an example of a genotype comparison biplot. So how we interpret this is that all the genotype distributed on the left-hand side from the green vertical line on the genotype comparison biplot are distributed toward the poor performing genotype and are more prone to undergo the bud break overlap. While the genotype on the right-hand side are distributed toward the best performing and are less prone to undergo the bud break overlap, with emphasis being made on black splendour. The AMI ranking table shows you the top 4 best performing genotype across the 3 environments, with emphasis being made on black splendour again, which is best performing and stable across the 3 environments. These are the preliminary results from the third objective, which is on consumer sensory analysis, which was done on 7 genotypes from 2 environments. It's important that I state this, all these genotypes were harvested at different times, and this could have skewed our result. Nonetheless, what you see on the slide is an example of a principal component analysis, which was done to see the association of these 7 genotypes from 2 environments with their sensory attributes. The genotype distributed on the left-hand side were least liked by the consumer, while the one distributed at the center were moderately liked, and the one on the right-hand side were most liked by the consumer. The table below the PCA component analysis shows the number of consumers that scored these 7 genotypes on the liking side of the scale. For the mid-flowering, Harry Pixton was scored low, while PR0707 was scored high. For the late-flowering genotype, Angelina was scored low, while Robusta was scored high for its sensory attributes. The value of this study lies in the utilization of the G by E results in order to recommend and match the genotype to their right environment. This would help reduce the risk of planting non-adaptive genotype and financial losses due to poor performance. These results will ultimately enable the growers in order to meet consumer preference and to meet consumer preference and also meet the market demand, thus leading into a more resilient and sustainable plum industry. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank my supervisors, the funders, and all the other important collaborators in this project for making it a success. Thank you.